Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I am here today with a game I have been loving lately. This is Dead Cells, the board game adaptation of the popular video game. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of the retail edition for the game. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Dead Cells, the video game, is a roguelike, which means you're doing runs and like dying and then trying again over and over again. And it's an action platformer, but this one, the board game adaptation, is a card-based combat game with heavy roguelite elements, which means that after you finish a run, you get resources to kind of level up and you can get stronger and stronger as the game goes along. And before I go any farther, I have to be very clear about spoilers. So my two sons and I have been playing the heck out of this game. They just love it, and I'm having a great time with it too. And we have unlocked quite a few things. We're about 6 or 7 runs in, so we're definitely not that deep in the game. We haven't even reached the second of 3 main bosses yet, and we haven't gone to the modes beyond that. But I didn't want to reset everything, like reset all the cards, reset all the unlocks. You are going to see a few things unlocked that would, again, be after you played the game maybe 5 or 6 or 7 times. So if you want to see nothing for the game, want to see it just pristine, you can maybe go and check out my previous preview playthrough that started from nothing. But this one is going to be showing you the solo mode, which is one character plus the sword helper, and again, is going to have some things already unlocked. So with that, let's just jump in. The game has very straightforward mechanics, so I'll just kind of walk you through each thing. So first of all, we've got our start of game and during game cards. These are unlocked as you travel along. So I have unlocked equipment level 1, which is going to get me a free equipment card from this kind of universal equipment deck. Pretty much all the decks in the game have a ebb and flow to them. Like this equipment deck, I've purged some cards from it, which means removed from the game entirely, and they're like sitting in the box. And I've also added a whole bunch of cards from blueprints in the different stages, the different biomes I've traveled through. So this deck is kind of a regular thing, and I'm going to get a free equipment card and equip it to my character. I got a rusty sword. This is going to give me an alternate attack in round 2 of each combat in range 3 to do a single damage, which is super weak. This is not a great item to start with, but so it goes. And then I've also got the Tactics mutation and the Survival mutation level 1 each, which means I'm going to get upgrades to a purple and green scroll right at the beginning. I'll show you that in a second. I've also got item level 1 unlocked, which means I can have 2 equipment cards equipped. At the beginning of the campaign, you start with only 1. And I've unlocked potion level 1, meaning I will get a single potion that can be used at the beginning of a fight or sometimes during a fight if I play the right card to fully heal one of my characters. And I've got some other unlocks on the board here, runes and stuff, but you don't really need to know about those until they come up, so I don't want to make the spoilers too enhanced here. Then for my character, I'm actually using the one that my 12-year-old is playing, the Immolated. So each of the Beheaded, there are 4 that come in the base game. Each of them has a set of unique upgrades they can get as they move these little scrolls down. So at the beginning, I only have whatever's to the left of the scrolls, which means I can use an activate action to put these little marked tokens on enemies to make them easier to hurt. I have 3 max life, and I get nothing from my reds. I also, in solo mode, have Serenade, this talking sword weapon from the video game that is helping me out. He can also get... Oh, I do need a scroll for him. Hold on. There we go. I can give him any scrolls, like these ones are gated by color, but this one can be anything. The first time I'm going to get some teeth, which are used to buy items during the run. The second time I'll get a potion, which will heal me a single point of life, not like the big potion I have. And then the third time I will power him up. I'll heal him 100%, flip his board over to a better version of itself. But that means I'm not leveling up my character, so I got to kind of decide how much I want to do with that. Each of us has a card deck. You start with, I think it's 6 cards for your character that are unique to your character, and 3 for Serenade, but I have added extra cards because you are both, again, purging cards and adding them. I've added extra cards to both of those decks, which is especially important for Serenade because they're going to use 1 card per combat, and if they run out of cards, they can only use this like much weaker action on their board, so I wanted to boost them up a bit. I've got some cool cards that combo with my abilities on my board, so again, you are seeing a slightly leveled up version of the game. But yes, for now, what am I getting? A green upgrade and a purple. Definitely going to give myself the purple upgrade, which will let me apply the fire condition to enemies. And then if I get another purple, I'm going to get a free fire in every combat, which is pretty awesome. And then I guess I'll give myself the green as well, which means now I have 4 max life. So both Serenade and I can take 4 damage. If any character in your party, and this is playable by up to 4 players, if anybody is defeated, the entire run ends. So both of us having extra life, never a bad thing. Okay, with that setup, we get to start our first biome. And I've actually, because I've beaten the first boss, unlocked the ability to start in a later biome, but I want to show you still the basic stages, even though I'm more powerful than I would normally be. So this is the Prisoner's Quarter, the very starting stage. And you'll see these different shapes on the board. These correspond to the different tiles that I have off the board here, and I've shuffled. And I'm just going to fill them in really quickly with the matching shape. And this one, oh, that's not the right shape. This one here that has this little symbol corresponds to a rune I have unlocked. And what that means is I get to flip this and see what it, oh, this is great. I can now see that this doorways usually lead you to treasure and stuff. This doorway is actually hiding some enemies behind it. So guess which door I'm going to try not to go in. All right, everything else is good to go. So if I can survive to get over here, I can go to the ramparts or the toxic sewers. I would need a rune to be able to get to the ramparts. I have unlocked that room, but I'm still going to go to the toxic sewers to, again, not spoil as much. These extra tiles I don't need right now. And literally all you do is you move, you do some stuff, you move to the next one. You have to follow the arrows, so you can't go backwards. You do some stuff. Usually when you go to these things with like little enemy symbols on them, and this one with elite enemies, you're going to fight. And yeah, you're just trying to get to the door. If you can get through 2 biomes like this, so the Prisoner's Quarters and the toxic sewers in this case, then you get to fight a boss. And if you fight the boss, your run ends anyway, but you unlock a lot of better stuff. So it's definitely good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and explore this treasure chest. And I can, oh, this is so good. I can either get an equipment card or I can level up purple, but specifically for whoever has the current leader token, the first player token, this little crown, which is at the moment me. And yeah, they make it so you can like actually put it on your head. So I'm definitely going to take the purple because this now means that in the 3rd round of each combat, I can apply flame in addition to my other stuff. And the Immolated is all about flame. That's one of their key mechanics. How flame works is if you apply 2 flame tokens to an enemy, they die instantly, although 1 flame token does nothing. So I have some cards in here that apply flame. Anytime at this little gear activation symbol, I can also apply flame. So I can pretty consistently straight up kill an enemy without dealing any other damage to them just through those mechanics. So definitely happy to have that. And it'll be even better if I can get a few red upgrades because then I'll deal flame to any enemy who damages me, which will just let the fire burn everyone. Oh, yeah. All right, and that's it for that one. So now I have a choice. I can go down here to fight an enemy, then go to a treasure chest, then go to a merchant. If I have any teeth, I can exchange them for bonuses there. Fight some more enemies, go to this door, which I know has enemies because of my rune. Go to enemies and then go. So I think I'm going to take the top track because I don't want to go there. Even though that means I'll have to fight some elite enemies, they tend to sometimes have better rewards as well. So let's see our first combat. So we flip this over. It says I'm fighting 2 regular enemies. There are also elite enemies that have a star on them. So if one of these guys had a star above, then we would deal with that. And this little hand symbol is the loot symbol. And it has this blue symbol, which is a cell. And cells are probably the most important resource in the game because this is the only thing you keep when you end a run. And these are what lets you unlock permanent bonuses from the different decks. So getting cells is great. Now, what this loot symbol means, and this is in every combat, is that if either me or Serenade plays a card that has that symbol, then I'll basically steal this and get it as an item. But if we don't, if we just fight the guys and ignore it, then we won't get it. So we have to like actually basically use an action or waste an action to make that ours. Okay, so now let's go to combat. This is the main mechanic of the game, like kind of where all the rules are. And it's pretty straightforward. So you're going to flip up 1 enemy at a time, in this case, the 2 basic ones. I've got a Grenadier. He's got 2 life, so if we do 2 damage to him, he dies. Each enemy has actions they're going to take for each of the 3 rounds, and sometimes they'll have a 4th round action. So here he's going to apply a shield to himself to block damage, and then hit everybody, me and the sword, for 1 damage each. And then down here is what you get if you defeat them. In this case, I get a whole cell. It's pretty great. And then behind him is going to be a zombie. They're going to attack anybody we choose. So sometimes it'll have a symbol that tells you like who they attack, but here it doesn't matter. We can pick. So they're going to attack one of us in round 1, attack one of us in round 2. And if we leave them alive until after round 3, there's like a sort of extra bonus round 4 that we can't do anything in, but he'll get like a final little nosh on our brains there. If we defeat him, we get a tooth, which again can be used to like buy stuff with merchants and stuff, but really not that exciting. Okay, and our hand is always going to be 3 cards at a time. And okay, I got all cards that are starter cards for the immolated. I didn't get any cards that are bonus ones I've added because they'll have a different picture. So important things for our cards. These icons in the upper left, that's on 2 of the cards, but not on the third one. These are used for a couple things. First of all, when you're doing tests and like checking things on the board, the icons will generally give you a bonus. Like they'll avert some negative thing. Like if you're trying to jump over a pit, you might have to flip the top card of your deck and try to get one of these. But even more importantly, in the solo mode, I'm going to play 2 cards every combat, and then I'm going to flip randomly the top card of Serenade's deck, so there's not really any choice there. But importantly, after I play my 2 cards at the end of the combat, I'm going to discard them both. And if I have one of these icons in the upper left, then that'll give me a bonus in the next combat. So you'll see if there's a green one, Serenade will freeze an enemy for me and cancel one of their actions. If there's a purple one, and the 0 means that it's in round 0 before the actual combat starts. If there's a purple one, they'll mark an enemy, which means they'll take extra damage. And if there's a red one, they'll do a bonus attack in the final round of the battle. So you generally want to try to get those icons on top of your discard pile. And the cards get discarded. Even though I'm playing 2 cards, I get to decide which order they're resolved in. So like if I did it like that, I would do this one first in round 1, then this one in round 2, and then this one in round 3, and then this one. And they get discarded in the same order. So the first card I played and then the second one if I wanted to have that on top. All right, so let's see what my options are. I've got looting, and then so let's see what my options are. For this card, I will loot, which means I would get the cell that's over there. And then I would get to take an activation, which, again, could mark somebody or put fire on them, which would be great with my automatic fire that's coming. For this one, I could do a damage in round 1. You'll see the ranges. Sometimes, not really in this first biome, but in other biomes, enemies will get behind you and actually act before you. And then this means I can attack 2 spaces to the right. So in this case, both the Grenadier and the Zombie, but if there was like an archer who was hiding back here or somebody else, then they would not be in range of this. So this would do 1 damage and then get the item at the end. And this one's just doing 2 damage straight up, which is pretty dang good. Like I could get the Grenadier before they have a chance to shield up, for example. So I definitely want to get the cell, and I think to do that, I could just kill like the zombie automatically with fire. But if I do the attack here, there's a decent chance that Serenade will also do damage. Oh, and I can't forget my sword either. I can, instead of anything that's printed in round 2, I can do damage. In this case, I'm super lucky. 2 of these cards have nothing in round 2, which means I can just do damage in addition to what I would normally do. So yeah, it's maybe a little bit overkill, but let's play these 2. And what do I want? A mark or a freeze? A freeze will cancel an enemy's first action. A mark will make them take more damage every time they get attacked. Let's go for the freeze. So I'm going to have the green card resolve second. Okay, so I've got both my cards ready to go. And then we just flip the top card for Serenade, and they are doing Cold Shoulder. This is a card that I added to their deck. They're going to do an attack in round 2 and a freeze in round 3, although by then it'll probably be too late. Okay, so what we do is we just, everything else just kind of is mostly on autopilot and resolves really quickly. So we have round 1, then round 2, then round 3. So round 1, we resolve our cards, starting with the leader and then going clockwise. So it's going to be boom, 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 all the round 1 effects, and then all the enemy round 1 effects, all the round 2 effects, and the enemy round 2 effects, and so on. Okay, so I'm doing 1 damage and then 2 damage. Let's do 1 on the zombie, and then 2 to the Grenadier, which kills him already and gets us a cell immediately. And then Serenade is doing nothing in round 1, and the zombie attacks for 1 damage. And I can put it wherever I want. Let's put it on Serenade, I guess, because if I power them up 3 times, they'll fully heal. Okay, we go to round 2. Nothing, except I can apply my rusty sword. So that'll finish him off, and that's all she wrote. Although I believe I was waiting for the FAQ to come out, and I think they said you can use the same equipment for both of your cards. You can only use 1 equipment card in a given round of battle, but when you have 2 action cards, you can use it on both action cards. So I could have done 2 damage, 1 for each of those 2s. Yep, so round 2, nothing else really matters. And then in round 3, we do still resolve the rest. I'm going to steal the cell. So yay for more leveling up. And I got the tooth from the zombie. And just to show it briefly, I've got it over on the side here because the boards are all kind of wide and it's hard to film them all. So over here, I'm storing my teeth and my cells. I've got the equipment deck. The blueprints for this biome, I have almost at this point unlocked all of them. There's only, looks like 3 left. And then like the enemy decks and everything. All right, and now I discard all of the cards that were played. And again, the second card to activate is on top, which means Serenade will do a free freeze for me in the next battle. Nice. And I do draw back up. So I've got, wow, that's all 6 of my, or I think almost all of my starting immolated cards. I do have some other cool cards in there, but we'll get to those later. For now, we're going to go ahead and move on. And what does this symbol mean? It means the first player, which is still me, although it can switch to Serenade, has to flip the top card of their deck. And we see, oh man, this is my really good card. We see if there's any icon here. There is not. If there had been, we would have gotten a bonus, a cell, a tooth, or a single point of healing for whichever color it matched. But we keep on going to this door. This symbol means that we switch who the current leader is, which means Serenade is going to have the crown. Although importantly, Serenade can't really take skill tests the same way that I do, like flipping cards and all of that. So anytime that there would be a skill test, I just become the leader automatically. This also means that Serenade's card will be resolved first, but the FAQ did clarify that regardless of who the leader is, you always have to choose your cards for the combat before you get to see what Serenade's is. Because in the cooperative game, when you have multiple players, you're all picking your cards with very limited communication. Like you can't exactly plan out how you're going to play the combat round before you play your cards. What am I getting? Another tooth? Ooh, and a red upgrade. Heck yes. Again, I could give these upgrades to Serenade, but look how good my first red one is. This says in round 0, before combat starts, I get to deal 1 damage to any enemy on the board. And then you already saw the one I already mentioned where if I get hit, I'll get to flame people for free, which would go with my purple unlocked ability. And then if I do this, I get to do another damage at the beginning of round 0. So yeah, loving that. Although at some point we might level up Serenade. We'll see. All right, so now we can go to the elite enemy or the merchant. The elite enemy is a lot tougher, but the rewards are usually better, and then I'll get to a treasure chest. The merchant would send me to a fight, and then a fight, and then a fight, because I know what that one is. So even though I do have some teeth to spend, let's go ahead and fight an elite. So the leader is changing, so it's going to be back to me to play first. We're going to have 1 elite enemy with a star and 1 regular one. Ooh, and another red to loot. Oh, I want to get that for sure if I can. All right, so first is the elite. It is an undead archer. You can see the little star there. They've got 3 life. They start in the 3rd rank area, and they attack for 2 damage in round 1. Although, ooh, Serenade. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't think about this. The skill flip covered up my green card, which would have frozen the undead archer and canceled that 2 damage attack. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, but every other enemy still fills in from the left unless they have a special symbol up here. We've got a 3 damage zombie this time. Oh, and they get no bonus for killing them? This is a terrible card. I like the other zombie way better. Yeah, and there's the red in case I want to try to loot it. All right, this is interesting. All right, so I really want to loot the guy. And besides that, I guess I could loot for either one. I don't need like 2 of the gear symbols. Ooh, and that's got a red. So let's do like that, right? First, second, so we can hopefully boost Serenade for the next time. So those will be my cards. Now, unfortunately, both of them have an attack in round 2, so my rusty sword is useless, whereas last time it was amazing. All right, so we picked ours, and Serenade, what she got? A single attack in round 1. All right, so first we resolve any round 0 abilities, and the only one... Yeah, we don't have one from that, unfortunately, so the only one is me dealing 1 damage here. And I could reach the undead archer with it, and then Serenade is attacking it up to 3 range, but I have no other way to hit the archer one more time before it does its big attack. So I'm just going to tank it, and I'm going to hit the zombie to try to finish him off maybe before he attacks in round 2. Okay, so that was round 0, my free attack for my reds. Now we're going into round 1. So I get to use a special ability, and I will do my flame 1 to... Oh, wait, hold on. I'm rethinking things a little bit because I just realized if I hit the undead archer in round 0 with my bonus, instead of doing the flame, I could do the mark, which adds 1 to the damage dealt by anybody. And then if Serenade attacked, which would happen after me, then that would be enough to kill the undead archer. But then I would not have the flame required to kill the zombie. So I'd be taking 3 damage total. So never mind. We're doing what I said. We're doing, flame on the archer to try to kill him later, and 1 hit on the zombie. Okay, and then Serenade gets an attack. That's going to also be on the zombie. We want to kill him before he gets a chance to go. Okay, in round 1 for the enemy, zombie does nothing. Undead archer hits for 2, and we can again freely distribute this. I'll put 1 on Serenade, and I guess 1 on me. I could put all 3 of them on Serenade and get him 1 from dying and then use my 1 potion to fully heal, but I kind of want to save that for later, like the boss or something if possible. Importantly, at the end of each round, every regular monster or elite moves up to fill in any gap. So the undead archer is in closer range now as we go to round 2. So I'm doing an attack and then an attack, and that's it. So I will kill the zombie, which gets us nothing, stupid zombie. And I'll do 1 damage to the undead archer, which is not going to matter much in the long run because I'm planning to burn him for free in round 3. Serenade does nothing. You suck, Serenade. And the archer does nothing. So actually, this was all fine. Okay, round 3, he boosts up again. And now I'm doing nothing in round 3, but I get a plus fire. So I can additionally apply a fire, whether I had any action. And yeah, I forget if the FAQ said if you can do that for both your cards. They did say you can use like an equipment for both your cards, but it seems like maybe it'd be too strong to be able to use the bonus for both your cards, but maybe it's intended. I don't know. But either way, the 1 fire will instantly kill the archer, which gets me another equipment, and I can hold another one. Although if I get a 3rd piece of equipment, you have to throw away one of your other ones. You can only have up to 2 with my current level. This is redundant as heck. The Swift Sword is strictly better than the Rusty Sword, but they both replace a 2 action with an attack. But this one does say that if I'm the leader, which I'm going to be half the time if I have the first player token, I do 2 damage with this replacement instead of 1. So that's certainly way better. I discard these with the red on top, so if everything stays okay, Serenade will get a free 1 attack in addition to whatever else they do in round 3. Oh, and wait, hold on. Didn't I have yes, I did. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I forgot to resolve the loot. I'll get the red, and yeah, I'm going to give fire to anybody who hurts me. I like that. I'm just fiery all over the place. And I draw 2 more cards. And they did clarify that you don't shuffle until you need to draw a card. Here's another one I added, Strike. It lets me use an action or an activation. And then this little crossed out shield means armor piercing. We haven't seen anybody actually get armor yet, but some enemies really rely on it. And all right, we're almost out of the prisoner's quarters. Let's see what the treasure chest has. I can get an equipment or a cell and a tooth. Well, let's definitely go for the cell and the tooth, because again, cells are permanent upgrades. I'm already full up on equipment, although the Rusty Sword is useless to me. That means I've got 3 of each. Nice. Then I've got a final battle to get through. It does switch Serenade to being the first player, which means my Swift Sword won't have its cool bonus. We're doing 2 basic enemies, and we've got a blueprint to steal. These are unique to each biome. If you can successfully survive the biome after getting the blueprint, then it gets permanently added to the equipment deck. And they are unlocked in a specific order. So I've never seen this one before. Slight spoiler. It is, a fire grenade. Totally useless for the immolated because they can already do this, but it would let somebody else use an action like that to fire somebody. Cool. All right, who are our enemies this time? A shield bearer. Going to apply a shield to themselves the first round, apply to people next to them in the second round, and hit the leader in the third round. Gets us a tooth if we kill him. Oh, and another shield bearer. Oh, and that one gives us a cell. Lots of cells coming. All right. So we're going to get some free attacks in this round. I guess I'll steal the blueprint. I don't really care about that item. So you've seen these. This one is bleeding. What bleeding means is at the end of round 3, the enemy who is bleeding dies automatically. So it's kind of like a little ticking time bomb. And actually, it's pretty perfect for like shield bearers who are getting a lot of shields on themselves because then the shields don't matter. Of course, fire would do a similar kind of thing. And none of these have icons, by the way, so they're not going to help Serenade be stronger. Although we'll have to reshuffle our discard pile, so we wouldn't have had anything for Serenade to boost off of anyway. You know, I'm realizing this little shield break thing is kind of perfect, isn't it? And then, do I care about looting the fire? Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about looting the fire grenade, but sure, let's do these 2. And the order doesn't matter that much in this case. And then let's see what Serenade is going to do, and they do go first. It is Oh, they're also looting. I forgot I added this card to their deck. And then 2 damage in round 3, although with their red, it's really 3 damage in round 3. Pretty darn good. All right, and we got some 0. Oh, we just get to do a free damage, and I want to do it to... which one do I want to do it to? They're pretty equivalent, aren't they? Well, let's do it to the guy with the cells to make sure he gets killed. All right, so that was round 0. Serenade is first. They are stealing the fire grenade for us. If we survive to the end of the biome, it goes into the equipment deck, so we're going to be good to go for that. So that was Serenade. I do nothing with my loot. Now, you can use potions with loots, and sometimes you can like get rid of negative consequences and stuff from bosses and things with loot. But yeah, right now it's useless. And then I can do fire or marked. Now let's do the fire on this shield bearer, the one who's not going to get armor pierced in a second. Okay, and then for their turns, they are each shielding up. These will prevent a single a single point of damage. But here it's not going to matter very much because damage is no obstacle to me. Round 2, Serenade is doing nothing. I am... I didn't realize I was doing double activation. Well, hey, let's just burn the shield bearer right now. Why not? That gets us a tooth when he dies. And then I do an attack armor piercing, and I kill him too. And get a cell. And if this seems slightly easy, don't forget that I am playing the easiest biome in the game with fairly leveled up characters. Like, really, I probably shouldn't be here, but I didn't want to spoil too much if I got all the way to the first boss. I do have to shuffle all this stuff back in, so bye-bye cool Serenade bonus. And anyway, I got Fire and Ice and some other nice stuff. And Serenade is down to 2 cards, but importantly, when they go to the Inter biome, which you're about to see, then they're going to reshuffle all of theirs. And speaking of, we're going to the Toxic Sewers, because again, I didn't want to show you the ramparts yet. But when we do that, we resolve the Inter biome. So we get to, spend some stuff, buy some stuff. Serenade is, again, going to reshuffle their entire combat deck, so they're refreshed, although all our damage stays around. So first, I have a skill I unlocked that says Warrior's Rest. So in the Inter biome, I get to heal somebody for 1. And let's make it me for now, because again, my potion can heal fully, or leveling Serenade up 3 times will heal him fully. And then I get to buy some stuff. So I can heal with level 1. I can spend up to 2 teeth to heal 1 for each. And then the merchant will let me flip up single equipment. And there's a cleaver for a use action. I can bleed somebody up to range 2. That would cost me 2 teeth. And then my unlocked blueprint, I think goes... Actually, wait, should the fire grenade? Because I think it goes on top. So actually, I think that's what's in the merchant. I might be wrong about that. And then I could buy another blueprint. Powerful grenade. And I can use it to remove all shields from all enemies. It's kind of niche. I don't really love any of these things, well, except for healing. So I'm going to spend 2 teeth to heal. That'll get all of us healed up fully. And yeah, forget this stuff. It goes back to its proper deck. The fire grenade gets discarded because I don't really need it for this character. And that's it. We move on to another biome. So the equipment deck stays the same, but the enemy deck, the blueprint deck, those are all keyed to this specific biome, so those get taken out, and we're going to replace them with the new thing. All right, so here we go into our second biome, the one before the boss. This is the Toxic Sewers. It only takes about a minute to set up. This time I did get to reveal a door, and it's a piece of equipment. And some biomes have special rules, and that'll usually tell you right on the board. This one says whenever we pass through one of these little green biohazard symbols, whoever the first player is has to flip the top card of their deck. And if it has a symbol, then they pass. If not, then we have to take 1 damage in our group. But I still like the idea of getting equipment and maybe replacing that useless sword. So let's go here first. We are switching the leader to me, and we get a single tooth. And this symbol means that each of us can discard a card and then draw a replacement. I like Fire and Ice. The bleeding one, I like that one because it actually has a symbol. Honestly, I'm not going to. I think it's fine. All right, so next we'll do the test. And I flip the top card, and no symbols. We have to take a damage. I'll put it on the sword. But we get to draw an equipment. And that's right, I'd seen this before. This is the cleaver, so it'll let me bleed somebody. Sure, for now, I will replace the rusty sword with that, since the swift sword is better, and you can't use 2 pieces of equipment in the same round. All right, and we got our first Toxic Sewers fight. Ooh, 3 guys and 2 teeth to be looted. Let's see what we got. First, it's a Disgusting Worm. They're going to do 2 damage in round 1 and 3 life. Poison in round 2. Poison is a terrible status effect because it does a free damage to you at the end of round 2 and at the end of round 3. So, well, I guess it's only 2 damage, so not really worse than 1. If we kill him, we have to take a damage, but we also get a tooth and a cell. That's pretty darn good. And then a Scorpion, whoops, he's going in the back. We need to act before us, and he's also poisoning us if he gets the chance. Only has 2 life, though. Also has a cell to offer. And then we got Basic Zombie coming along for the ride. All right, well, that's interesting. Okay, now I am first, which means my Swift Sword will do 2 damage in round 2. That's nice. Which kind of makes me think maybe I want to do Fire and Ice for round 1 and 3 actions. And then maybe I do that one in round 2 to then get the red bonus from the discarding. And that would let me steal the 2 teeth. Sure, okay, so let's give that a try for me. And then what's Serenade going to do? Cold Shoulder. We're going to do a lot of freezing when none of them have any actions. Well, I guess we could prevent the zombies' 4th round action. But yeah, these are not necessarily the cards I was looking for. Oh, well. But I do still get, they don't have any round 0 now. I get my round 0 single attack, and that's it, unfortunately. Now let's see. I'm going to do a flame in round 1. And I'm going to do a flame whenever somebody hits me, which means I could let them hit me on purpose. And then a free flame in round 3. And I'm doing a ton of damage in round 2. But yeah, the nasty part here is that I can't really prevent any of the initial damage they're going to do. Yeah, it didn't work out great. All right, so I don't think it matters too much. But sure, let's put the initial free damage on the Scorpion. Okay, the Scorpion attacks. We'll have him attack me, and I'll do a free fire to him. So he's half dead already. Then the Disgusting Worm attacks, and I guess I'll have him do 1 damage to me and 1 damage to the other guy. So yeah, we'll split it up and give him a flame as well. The freaking zombie. I guess I'm just going to hurt myself again, just to get max flame options, and we'll be using that potion, I assume, in a moment. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't actually, resolve my first actions, because I do get to flame the Scorpion. I need to do that, or he's going to poison us before I get a chance to respond. Okay, so he's dead. I get a cell. Yeah, I got a ton of cells, so even if this run ends in the sewer, I'm still in a pretty good spot. Okay, so sorry. That was after the Scorpion. Then nothing else happens. Then they do their stuff. Okay, so now we're in round 2, and this should be super easy, because I can, for both of these, use the Swift Sword, and that's 4 damage. And then there we go. Serenade does the last damage. See, that's actually going to do all the damage we need. Now, we do take 1 more from the worm as we kill him. So, wow, we're both 1 from death. Jeez. But we're getting a tooth and another cell. Oh, and yes, I do have a loot, so we got 3 teeth. So we've got 6 teeth if we have the time to spend them, and 6 cells. Not too bad. Although, Crow, we got to go over poison. I think I'm allowed to use the potion anytime outside of combat and not just in the beginning of combat. So just in case that's true, I'm going to go and use it to fully heal myself in case I fail this poison check. And I did indeed, so I got to take a damage. And our only potion is gone. Man, this is even a little bit rougher than it was a second ago. All right, but we're going to a treasure chest now, and we're getting a cell and 2 more teeth. We got just a lot of stuff here. Although the teeth are completely useless if we die. The cell, at least, and the sword is becoming the leader. The cell, at least, will help us out. All right, now, what these symbols mean is that if the first player has a card with these icons, they can discard it and then draw a replacement to go along these paths. And in solo, when you come to a test like this, you can force the sword to make you first player since it doesn't really have a hand. I do have a green card that would get me to this door, but then I have to fight regular guys and elites. I do have the rune I need to go this way, so I could just go through the poison, fight those guys, and get to the boss. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's draw for the poison again, and hey, we passed the test, and we've got a purple, which will give us a marked token from Serenade at the beginning of battle, so that was all good, and let's get into that battle. Oh, and we're becoming the first player, which means we'll make our sword better. We got 2 regular guys and a cell to loot. This is a much easier fight. You should be able to smash this one, I think, pretty quickly. Okay, we got a kamikaze. This little symbol means that they are invisible for round 1, which means we can't attack them at all. That right there. Although they have a single point of life, so I can just kill them with my free 0-turn action. And yeah, if they survive to round 3, they do 2 damage and then kill themselves. So that'll get us a tooth. And then we got, another scorpion. Crud. These guys are pretty annoying. Yeah, and unfortunately, look, I'm getting a round 0 attack, and then Serenade's giving me a round 0 mark, which would add extra damage to the attack. But unfortunately, we have to go, again, first player and then other players, because I would love to, put the mark on the Scorpion, then use the free attack to kill it. But as it is, I don't think there's any way for me to avoid the 1 damage it's going to do, because it acts before us, which sucks. And yeah, I've got nothing that grabs the soul. So none of this seems to matter too much. So let's go for these 2 and some basic damage and see how things go from there. And Serenade is doing 2 damage at the end. Well, great. That's a big help. So yeah, we do get our round 0 actions. I will kill the kamikaze right off the bat to get the 2. Or should I? Actually, should I hurt the Scorpion? Because I don't want it to mess me up. Oh, no, I'm doing 1 billion damage in round 1, or at least 2 damage, which is more than enough to finish everybody off. So yeah, I will kill the kamikaze, because otherwise he would be immune to attack and get a tooth from that. And then Serenade from the purple bonus will mark the Scorpion, but the Scorpion hits me for a damage first. And then, I can just do a lot of things, but we'll save a 2 damage to him. Ooh, and we get a red upgrade, which will be another free damage at the start of a fight. Although, I never got Serenade far enough, and I'm about to go to the boss, so I'm not going to be able to level him up all the way there. So yeah, I'll just get my red fully leveled. All right, it's a quick battle. We did not get the cell. We took some damage. Let's go to the inner biome and rest it up. So again, we can only quick track it here because we have the right runes. We're going straight to the boss, but you do get another into biome term first. And I got 8 billion teeth, like more than I can actually spend. So I get a free healing here, and I'll certainly spend 2 teeth to fully heal with that. Or sorry, what am I talking about? Not fully heal. I guess I'll get rid of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. Leave them both with 1 damage. Oh, and Serenade's going to get shuffled again. Oh, and I also got to shuffle because I need to draw. Okay, and then we get to see what the merchant is selling. A knockback shield. Whenever you use a shield, you deal 1 damage to an enemy. My main character gets shields like candy and is ridiculous with that item, but the immolated has no way to get shields currently. And we have a blueprint we can buy for 4 marksman's bow. Now, it's pretty much the same as the weak sword I had, except it has longer range. It hits a range 3. Should I buy that? Well, sure, because theoretically it'll get us to better items down the line, and we can just cull it away later. So I'll go ahead and spend 4 teeth to get that added to the deck, although clearly I'm never going to actually have time to buy it. And yeah, that'll be it. Let's see what a boss fight looks like. 3 teeth aren't going to do anything for me, but even if I die horribly, 7 cells is really, really good. That's going to be enough to buy some pretty cool upgrades for next time. All right, so each boss gets a special setup card, and this is the Concierge. You don't have a biome board anymore. You're just fighting. So for him, he starts here. He's got these 2 double-sided Fire Strike cards that start there. And then he shuffles these up, and he's going to be drawing them in certain circumstances. We get to pick who the first player is. I'll definitely keep it with myself because I want to get the extra bonus from the short sword or the swift sword. All right, so what's the Concierge going to be doing? Well, first of all, they have 2 forms. The second you defeat them, you basically stop and restart a whole new combat, and all your status effects, both on the boss and on your character, go away. Yeah, so he is immune to flame, wah-wah for me, immune to bleeding, immune to, well, it's everything I could do. So he's immune to a lot. His first turn, or round 1, he's going to draw a card and activate something new. It might be special attacks by him, or he might put down more fire strikes. His second turn, he's going to do a basic damage. His third turn, he is not going to play a card. Actually, it is better than when I play with my kids, because we don't have 3 or 4 players. And yeah, if we do 7 damage, we get to flip him. The fire strikes do their own thing, so this one's going to play a card on round 3. This one's going to attack on round 2. And the big thing for them is you can't hurt them. They don't have any life. The only way you can defeat them is by doing one of those hand loot actions. So let's hope that I got some at least. And yeah, I do. They aren't amazing. I mean, I guess that one's good. But yeah, like, look, that's piercing damage, and the gear is useless because nobody's affected by fire or by the mark. The bleeding is also useless. I guess the swift sword does damage in round 2. So with that being the case, I think these are the best 2 cards I can play. And I'll put the red there because you only get 1 round 0. That's very important, but you keep on like playing cards and taking extra rounds. But round 0 only happens at the beginning of the fight, and then again when the guy gets flipped. But the red bonus for Serenade will help us in the following round to do 1 extra damage, so that seems worth it. Yeah, we barely beat this guy the last time my sons and I got to him, but I feel like it might not go that well for us this time because we got lucky and got a lot of loots to get rid of the fire strike pretty quickly. All right, but yeah, I've picked my stuff, such as it is. And, oh, they're doing Cold Shoulder. There isn't any great 3rd round action to get rid of. Well, I guess I could, like, freeze that fire. Oh, no, that fire strike's going before us in round 3. Oh, man, yeah, this is really not good at all, is it? All right, well, so it goes. Okay, so round 0 actions. They don't have any. I've got 2 damage, and that's all going on the Concierge, obviously. So if we can just defeat him. Now, the fire strikes will stick around, so it is still worth it to get rid of them, even if we, like, just do a ton of damage to him really quickly. But we'll just see how things go. Okay, so round 1, we ain't doing anything. Oh, no, we don't have a bonus for the sword yet. Okay, so nothing. He's flipping a card, and it's Shout. So this one sucks. The first player must discard their active combat card. Now, when you have 2 characters, they make you discard your leftmost one. But that is not just bad because we're not doing the damage around 3, but it also means we can't use the swift sword for 2 more damage. We just canceled 3 damage with that. You jerk. You didn't stop the thing that's going to get rid of a fire strike, though, so that's decent at least. Okay, so round 2. Nothing from the fire strike. 2 damage from me because I'd rather use the swift sword. since I can sub that in. All right, so he is at 4 damage now. And then Serenade's also doing a damage. So he's at 5. He's actually very close to being defeated. And the second he defeats, he's defeated, we like stop the combat and start a whole new thing. Okay, and then them round 2, damage. We'll split it evenly. Remember, the second we lose somebody, that is it. And then we go to round 3. This one's going to draw a card. You suck. And it's another fire strike, which means it goes over here. Luckily, it doesn't have a round 3 action. All right, and then my round 3. Which fire strike do I want to get rid of? I mean, these two that play cards are clearly the worst ones. And even though that one's playing it before us in round 3, this one plays in round 2. So yeah, I'll get rid of him with my loot. And then Serenade is going to ice somebody, but nobody has an action to go. And we do get a tooth from defeating the fire strike. Not that it does us any good, although one of the beheaded has the power to use teeth for special attacks and stuff. So I guess that's why they included that here. All right, so we discard our stuff. That is the end of the round, which means we will have a bonus attack in round 3, although I'm hoping the guy's dead before that. And we get to redraw. Ooh, and okay, some quick damage, but some really late looting. And the thing is, you don't resolve the rest of the action. So I think I'm going to do these two just to save the looting for later, but we'll certainly defeat the guy in a second. And I can put the green on top, so that should be good. Okay, and Serenade. Ooh, an early loot. But, I think we switch who the first player is each round. Yes, I am correct. So the Serenade will become the first player, which is friggin' great because we get to resolve his card first. So, no, I don't do zeros. Zeros don't happen again except at the actual beginning of the combat. And I guess I would have been putting fire on people who hit me, but they're all immune to fire. So, distraction. He gets the loot first. And yeah, let's get rid of this other one that's giving us cards, because the cards, as you saw, are very nasty or can even summon more flame strikes. So that happens. Then I do a gear for nothing, and then I do 2 damage. Oh, crud! No, I don't. Okay. Shoot. Well, I guess it's too late. Yeah, does not have enough range. And the Concierge, by the way, they clarified this in the FAQ. The bosses don't move. So even if like this one flame strike was gone, unlike minions, he would not advance forward. He would just stay at a longer distance. Okay, well, I'll still be able to kill him with the Swift Sword and my strike in a second. But I'm going to have to deal with the card. And it's another flame strike. Great. And it is a fire if there are 3 or 4 players, which luckily there aren't. He would do a damage on the leader, but that's not happening right now. Okay, so then we go to round 2. Serenade does nothing. I go plink and plink with my Swift Sword, and that will flip him, although we still get all the flame strikes. So we're going to discard these cards and basically start an all-new combat. If we had any status effects, which we don't, they would go away. We do have a green, which means Serenade's going to get to ice somebody right off the bat. That's awesome. Yeah, now he's an angry Concierge, so he's going to attack and do a card on round 1, attack and do a card on round 2, and attack everybody on round 3. How did we win this the last time I played? Anybody's guess. Okay, awesome. Not really awesome, but we'll survive best we can. All right, so let's see what I got. I've got fire and ice that could ice the Concierge in round 3 and stop him from doing 1 damage to each of us. But alternatively, I definitely want to loot, right, to get rid of the flame strikes early. And then I could loot again to get rid of the other flame strike. And Serenade's going to be icing him, so all he'll do is like an attack and a card. But I think if I don't ice his all attack, I don't see any way we can survive, right? Well, I guess if I get rid of both of the fire strikes with my stuff, and I should, I should say, then never mind. The one loot card that Serenade has in their deck is already gone, so I'm the only one who's looting if anyone is looting. So yeah, maybe I loot both and we just tank. Oh, no, if we take all damage, he's still doing 1 damage to us there. So yeah, if I don't ice him for the all damage, we're dead. And we were probably dead anyway, but okay. So I'll do that, and I guess it doesn't really matter if I loot in round 1 or round 3, because either way I'm going to prevent a single point of damage. So I'll do that one to at least get some damage. I can Swift Sword him both times. Oh, and I should be the leader again. So we're actually going to do a lot of is it possible I'll win if Serenade's card does a decent amount of damage? Well, let's see. Hey, okay. Doing 2 damage, and that's right, we get to ice. So yeah, we're going to freeze the Concierge's first action, so that one will not trigger, which is huge. And that's not triggering because we don't have 3 or 4 players. So let's see if we survive this. I feel like with Swift Sword's power, we might. So I'm doing flame in round 1. Who cares? I'm doing an attack in round 1 against the Concierge. Oh, and I forgot my 2 free attacks. That's huge. So he's at 3. And then Serenade's doing an attack. Oh, we are going to win. We're going to win like friggin' in a second. Okay. That's it for round 1 because we iced him for his attack. Then we go to round 2. We go before them. So 2-4 damage. I mean, that's it immediately, right? He's super dead. Although if we had not been able to do that, because again, I think the FAQ said you can use the item on each of your cards. This is 4 damage, which is insane. If we had not been able to do that, he would have done 1 damage to us and drawn a card and then done 2 damage to all of us. Oh, no, I would have stopped the 2 damage. I'm just curious if the card would have killed us. So we would have taken like 1 damage. Let's say we put it on the sword. And then he would have gotten a shield plus an extra shield for every fire strike in play, which would have been 2 at that point. So, yeah, we would have taken 2 damage. We would have had exactly 1 life left each. And we would have had to do a ton more damage. So no, this worked out great. I don't think we could have possibly survived without the Swift Sword double equipment combo. So yay! So we get 3 more cells, we get a Concierge blueprint card, and we can purge an equipment card or a combat card. Combat cards, you can purge one of the cards from your deck. Mainly, usually you'll do your starting ones, especially ones that don't have any icons on them. Or you could even purge a card from Serenade's deck. And there's a lot of other purging in the game, so you can kind of fine-tune the things. Although you have to always, with added cards, keep 6 cards in each character's deck and at least 3 cards in Serenade's. And yeah, then we get to spend our cells. I'm not going to show you the blueprints I'm unlocking, just kind of prevent some more spoilers. But how cells work, and I've got 10, is that you've got these 4 different decks, and as you dig deeper and deeper into them, you're always taking the furthest back card. As you dig deeper into them, their cost will increase. So you'll see brutality. We've done quite a bit more of. My eldest just always wants to do brutality. That might be concerning. So yeah, it's 4, 6, 8. And the abandoned well can always kind of take your extras, although usually it doesn't do anything. You lose any cells you don't spend, and everything else goes back. Like all my equipment, gone. All my level ups, gone. You're always starting a new run from scratch. But yeah, we get to spend my 10 cells on some cool upgrades, and I'm not going to show you what they are, because you'll just have to imagine or play the game yourself. But that was Dead Cells, a solo run-through. Might have still gotten a few rules wrong, because the FAQ just came out, and I'm sure there will be some more questions that'll pop up as we go. Like, I'm not 100% sure about when I have 2 cards, if I can use, like, my bonus powers, like that flame power multiple times. I think not. But yeah, that's pretty much what the game looks like, and I will have a review of this one once my sons and I go a little bit deeper in. But thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, J. William F., Steve Wren, Miles, and Wayne Scott. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you at the next stop.